everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about some news that came out a few days ago. Haven't had the chance to give my opinion on it, but it was a big deal. And it is a big deal, which is the announcement of Mulan going to Disney Plus on September the 4th on Disney's new premium section. Now, just so you can understand me here, I'm going to just tell you guys exactly what it is. So Mulan was supposed to be out in theaters, but obviously theaters are still not opened in most areas. Corona's pretty bad. Corona's pretty bad here in America to the point where a lot of things aren't really open right now. So, clearly Disney can't put it out over here. So their strategy is to put it out worldwide. So the strategy is to put Mulan out worldwide in whatever regions that can be played in, but in America specifically, or any place that got Disney Plus probably, for $30, you have to have a Disney Plus subscription and pay $30, and you get Mulan for as long as you have the Disney Plus service. So this isn't like this isn't a rental. You're not paying $30 to rent Mulan. You're paying $30 to basically purchase Mulan on Disney Plus. Purchase the option of being able to watch Mulan on Disney Plus. Apparently, it's supposed to work a lot like the ESPN Plus app with the UFC fights. How you have to have the ESPN Plus app to get the UFC fights for however much it is. But, you have to have it. So, apparently it's supposed to work a lot like that. So, a lot of people I've seen have said, there are some people who have said that this is a good deal. Obviously, if you have a family, you got your wife or your husband and multiple children, this is a really good deal because you would pay more money taking all of them out to the movies anyways. You'd pay more than $30 just taking all your kids out to the movies anyways. You don't gotta go out, just pay the $30. You got the movie for good, and so on and so forth. But once again, for people who like me or like other people who aren't in a relationship, who aren't who don't have a who aren't paying for a bunch of people to go, it's gonna seem a bit pricey. I mean, even for my movie theater, it costs our matinee's about $10. So that's about 20 extra, and if you add in the pop, that's just going without the popcorn or nothing. If you throw in the popcorn and stuff, sure, it might add up, but even then, with popcorn and a soda, that's still not $30 at my local places. And if I just go there by myself, that's almost $20 more money just to watch it at home. And I feel like that price range is gonna really affect a lot of people. First of all, I wanted to be out there as well that no one really knows, but most analysts and most people agree that most likely Mulan will become free on Disney Plus in a few months after it is released on September 4th on Disney Plus for $30. Maybe not super soon, but that worst case scenario, you're looking at a 4-month time frame for Mulan to either drop drastically in price on the premium to something along the lines of $15, or to just be on the regular, Disney Plus. That's what you're looking at. And it really all depends on how well it does. Now, everyone's freaking out about this is because Mulan is the biggest, first huge tentpole movie to go direct to VOD, which is still not direct to VOD. It's really direct to Disney Plus because I don't even think they're going to put it on VOD first. This thing's going direct to Disney Plus. So they're pocketing all the money. Because when you put something on VOD, you're still sharing the profits with wherever the VOD is. So if you see a movie on virtual on-demand movie on Google or even on Comcast or on whatever, and you buy it, technically that whatever you bought it on, like Comcast or Google, they get a percentage of your purchase So even then, you're not getting all the money. But Disney having their own streaming service means that if you buy it, that all that money goes directly to Disney. Which, by the way, minor note, Disney's already set. The thing is, Disney Plus isn't hurting. There's a lot of people, and especially in the nerd community, who are really upset at Disney Plus because they're not getting all the nerd things they want. We don't got the Obi-Wan series. We still don't have, the Marvel series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision. But the thing is, Disney Plus is doing fine. Disney Plus was projected, at least their projection was to be at 60 million of subscribers by 2024. There are over 60 million subscribers now, and the service has only been out for 8 months. So Disney Plus isn't hurting. They're not hurting at all. Disney Plus is almost single-handedly holding Disney through the coronavirus because they're making so much money off of Disney Plus that it's like it's kind of giving them a bit of wiggle room to, like, you know, kind of do some things. And it's only going to grow because when The Mandalorian Season 2 comes back out, when they finally do get the Marvel stuff out, it's just going to shoot out of the roof. They got there's a couple of things I'm going to talk about later, but let's keep on the Mulan train. So the thing is, that's the angle I'm really having. The hard time I'm having is I know it's going to be free on there eventually. Now I've seen some people argue with me that, well, that can be said for all theatrical movies. I would argue that the whole idea that, oh, well, a movie you see in the theater is going to be free on a service eventually isn't quite as strong. Because when you think about it, the way a movie goes is, depending on how well a movie's doing in the theaters, a movie could be in the theaters for like 5 months. Black Panther was in theaters for quite a bit. Black Panther was in theaters all the way up to when Infinity War was coming out. Like, it was still being played in theaters weeks, while, like, at the same time as Infinity War. Like, Black Panther was in theaters for a while, and like, so was Infinity War. Infinity War was in theaters for a while. Avengers Endgame was in theaters for a while. Captain Marvel was in theaters. Like, movies stay in theaters for months, for a very long time, and then they go to VOD for a couple months, and then they go to streaming services. But that's how that works. Though, then they go to VOD, they go to VOD in, you know, physical copies, and then they go to streaming services. That's always how that works. And that whole process could be anywhere between like 5, 6 to 7 months, depending on how successful the movie is. Like, the process can speed up. If a movie's a bomb, that process will move a lot faster. But a successful big blockbuster movie, that thing is going to take about several months before that thing is on a Netflix or a Hulu. That thing, it's going to be a minute before it's on HBO or something. That's 7, maybe 8 months before that thing's on one of those. Whereas here, there's a good chance and a massive likelihood that, depending on how well this sells, it could be free on Disney Plus in half the time. It could be free on Disney Plus in maybe 4 months tops. Sorry, there's a little thunderstorm going on in the background. You probably were hearing the rain. But that's my whole point to this matter is it's a very conflicting thing. On one hand, I really want to see Mulan. I've been anticipating Mulan. Anybody who knows me knows that I love that original animated movie. And, you know, Be a Man's my favorite all-time Disney song. But I really want to see it, but I don't know if I want to pay $30 to see something I might end up getting for free anyways. We'll see. We'll see how successful it is. But I will say this. The thing that made this topic a massive point right now in Hollywood is, if this works out, this could be a game changer. In the sense that I've talked about before how money works, how movies really work, how there's amount of money. There's the money for the budget, and there's the money for the marketing, and you add that together and times it by 2 to get the actual number that a movie has to make to actually break even. Because you're sharing with a lot of people. All movies that open up worldwide, every theater gets a tiny piece of the pie. Every theater gets a tiny piece of the pie. All these different places get a tiny piece of the pie. So, you know, by the time it comes out, like, for instance, Avengers Endgame made $2.7 billion. But technically, Disney only pocketed a little over $900 million of it, because they're sharing it with so many other people. So, like, that's just an instant, just kind of giving you an indication. And pretty much the bigger the numbers up, the more the share is. So that's why, like, smaller movies can, like, that's why a lot of smaller movies can have, be like a $12 million movie can make about $100 million, and, like, they can pocket about, like, $75 million of it. Because the smaller you are, the more money you get to keep, and the bigger you are, the more you have to share out. But it's still okay because you're still making almost a bit. So Disney almost made $1 billion. So Disney got close to making $1 billion off of Endgame in pure profits. Just to put that in perspective of how the business works. So if they can, but the thing about the VOD thing is, what goes on VOD is direct money. That it cuts out the middleman entirely. If Mulan does great on Disney Plus, it is going to change the way movies are handled. You will start to see a shift. Because if you're a studio, why would you ever put a movie out in the movie theaters and share the profits when you can simply put it out on your own service and pocket all of the check? It's the very reason Disney created Disney Plus in the first place, was because because essentially they were allowing Netflix to profit off of their movies, and they're like, there are movies. They gave Netflix their entire catalog because they had that deal with them, and access to all the Marvel movies would go to that streaming service first. But now they're like, well, we have it, so everything's going to come to us. You know, it's a very conflicting conversation. It's a very intriguing conversation. I'm curious. We won't really know until September 4th is this going to change the world? How many people are going to buy it? All the polls I saw, no one really was willing to pay $30 for this. There's a bit of me that does hope that it doesn't work out, so that we could still have the theatrical, window, so that studios don't feel like, oh, well, fuck the theater, I could just put it out on my service. I don't want that to happen. So there's a bit of me rooting against Mulan, ironically, even though I want to watch the movie. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie. If it goes on long enough and enough people are saying how amazing it is, I might end up paying the $30. I might. Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. And what is your thoughts on Mulan going to Disney Plus for a premium of $30? Are you willing to pay for it? Do you want Black Widow to move like this? What are your thoughts on this? Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.